Let me say again. I said the pain of every wasted life will be with the life. So Gabriel went to Zechariah and said, John is going to come with the spirit and power of Elias to accomplish a purpose. Reconcile fathers to their children and children to their father. Probably to make a highway for the Messiah. Don't allow him to waste 1 second of his life. Gabriel left there and went to Mary and declared the manifesto of Jesus and then left. Do you know why? Whatever God will accomplish in your life will be controlled by how you have invested your life. Let me say again. Lives can be stolen. Let me say it again. Error does not bring success. Somebody whose life is guided by clear vision cannot depreciate in value. Not now, not anytime. If a man is 40 years and is suffering, I want to ask you a question. Where did he keep the 40 years? The pain is in that 40 years old man because he didn't know where he kept his life. Or he kept his life on something that is not meant to take that life. So when you hear there is something that I want, it is what you want that should provide what you want. It is where you kept your life. It is where you kept your life that you should find your need. You should not find your need from God. You should find your need where you kept your life. So, because John the Baptist and Jesus, we are not meant for shame. I said we are not. We are not meant for shame. There are spirits you don't allow, you don't subject to shame because they were too great. Gabriel went to Zechariah and Mary and said, don't allow them to look for their life very early. Allow them to keep their life where they will make profit from it when they want it. When they ask fig, olive, vine to be king, olive and king and fig and vine, they knew that if they try to be king, that shame will come into their life. There is only one thing that takes away shame from a man's life permanently. One thing. Let me say it again. I said only one thing takes away shame from a life permanently. Keeping that life down. We are on something that should preserve it. Keep that life down. Now, if purpose is not yet defined, there will be no divinity. If there is no clarity of vision, there will be no divinity. Let me say again. I said, if there is no clarity of vision, there will be no divinity. Satan is too small. Listen, I know when Satan wants to attack me, and I don't give him chance. He attacks me through distraction. When he wants to take my second away for the only reason that I was born. So that when I want gain from my life, I will say that I have invested it in a wrong way. If you invest your life in a wrong way, then you will bear the consequences of learning how to live your life from somebody's life. Wait. The extortioners, that is the brothers of Joseph, who wandered around and came into Egypt to buy food. While Joseph was taking steps to be prime minister, where were they? Where were those adults? It's a very shameful thing that those adults were looking for food at old age. So they became slaves. It is only wanderers that look for food at old age. By the time they came to Egypt, Joseph was already seated. Buying land, buying people. His brothers who are wanderers, senior or not junior, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Ndiwoko. All these people that get angry quickly, they were all wandering up and down. Somebody say, get angry quickly. Now they know how to get angry quickly, but they can't see anything clearly. You don't know what happens when a visionary man is looking at a wanderer. You don't know what happens when somebody who can see is looking at a blind man. You don't know how he feels. Those old men, after 13 years, they came to look for what they would eat in Egypt. They left all the way from Canaan just to buy food. Anytime this thing come to me, it's like I should bring them out of the Bible and flog them very well. Somebody traveled all the way from Canaan to Egypt to go and buy food. You can imagine. And Joseph was already a prime minister when they were still looking. It will not happen to you. He has already become divine. They were there with Jesus. He had become Christ, walking on top of the sea, feeding 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. And his mates were still fishermen in Galilee, older than him. Do you know Bible history said at the time Jesus was 30, Peter was 47. So there cannot be divinity until vision is clear. And when vision is clear and takes a man's life, you cannot, it is in vision that lack is conquered. When vision is clear, lack will die. God destroys lack in vision. He destroys it. He makes mockery of it. Somebody is looking for food. Somebody is sitting on top of food. And they came there, they couldn't see their brother. They started worshiping their junior brother. Because of lack of visionlessness. Visionlessness. Or visionlessness. There's a visionless man can be divine. Now listen, God cannot be introduced without clear vision. It's not that a man is preaching sermon that we are talking about. There are so many good sermons. We are talking about making a sermon clear from vision. Come, this is Christian. I don't have anything to do with death. I will never die. I don't look for money because I control it. I am immortal. It's clear. There is something else before I go to work. Connecting to God through the provision of your route. Life is full of journey. I said life is full of journey. If you cannot interpret the past, you will not be able to apprehend the future. Let me say again. I said if you cannot interpret the past, you cannot apprehend the future. It's not possible. Because the past and the future is interwoven. You cannot separate the past from the future. Just like if you cannot interpret your foundation, you cannot interpret the face of your God. Let me say again. I said if you cannot interpret your foundation, when you meet your God, you will not know him. Let me say it again. I said if you cannot interpret where you came from, the destiny of that route, you cannot interpret your God when you meet him. Because the God of every man is found in the root of that man. In Joshua chapter 1 verse 1, I want to show you something. Joshua chapter 1 verse 1. He said, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua,
the son of Nun, Moses' minister.
There is something I want to tell somebody.